Hello my dear students. Today we are going to see composition of permutation. Last time we have seen what permutation is, how to write permutation in cyclic form. Now today we are going to see how to uh, do composition of permutations. So idea is simple. We have already discussed the topic of composition before in first year. So this topic can be well understood with the help of examples. So here I will go with first example as 1, 2, 3. First of all, we will use basic notations and then we will extend the idea to what? The cyclic notation. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 2. Now let us find the composition of this. So you can easily see that it is defined on 3 symbols. So I will write the domain first of all, that is 1, 2, 3. Now I will write the corresponding images. So see, in some books composition is taken in this way, in the sense 1 goes to 2, 2 goes to 3, then 1 will go to 3. But in some books it is taken from right to left, and in some books from left to right. But we are going to use our right to left technique because which is more natural, isn't it? That is how we do. If you recall the composition f of g of x, we operate g first and then we operate f, right? F of g of x. So first of all we operate g on x and then we operate f on g of x. So therefore we are going to go from what? Right to left. So 1 goes to 1 and here 1 goes to what? 2. Therefore over here 1 will go to 2. Now 2 goes to 3 and 3 goes to 1. So over here 2 will go to 1. Now what should be the image of 3? It should be 3, isn't it? Because 1 has appeared, 2 has appeared in the image set. So only 3 is left out. So therefore 3 goes to 2, 2 goes to 3. So therefore 3 should go to what? 3. Right? So this is our composition. Easy, isn't it? So this can be done in cyclic form also. How can you write this in cyclic form? This permutation can be written in cyclic form as you always start with 1. So 1 goes to 2, 2 goes to 3, 3 goes to 1, cycle complete. What about this? I will write 1 first. 1 goes to 1, so cycle is closed over here. Now I will start with 2. 2 goes to 3 and 3 goes to 2, cycle is closed. Now just note one thing, we don't write this 1 goes to 1. Okay, so if you open up some books and if you go through, then you might see that we don't write this 1 maps to 1 or 4 maps to 4. Okay, these things we don't write because it is understood from the context. Since 1 is missing over here in this term, so it is understood that 1 is mapping to 1 only, right? And remember there is a composition between these two permutation, but I am not writing this sign of composition because it is understood from the context only that we are taking composition, but generally the word product is used. Okay, because it we don't write anything over here, right? So sometimes it is also called as product of permutations. So in a cyclic form this will be equal to, now again I am going to start with 1, but you can see 1 is missing over here, it means 1 is mapping to 1. Now I will come here, 1 maps to 1, so over here 1 maps to what? 1 maps to 2, therefore 1 is mapping to what? 2. Now 2 is mapping to 3 and 3 is mapping to 1, therefore 2 is mapping to what? 1. I will recall again because we want the image of 2, right? So I will find 2 in this cycle, so I find 2 over here, so 2 is mapping to 3, 3 is mapping to what? 1, therefore 2 is mapping to 1. So cycle will be closed because we got 1 again. So yeah, cycle is closed. Now we will start from 3, which is the missing one. So 3 is mapped to 2 and 2 maps to 3, therefore 3 maps to what? 3, and which can be also written as simple in this way, 1, 2, which is one and the same. So this was an example of composition of permutation. Let us go for one more example, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Consider it as one element, and I will take some another element as 1, 2, 4 and 3. Now let us see what is the composition of these two permutations. Now this is a composition of two permutations on 4 symbols. As you can see, 4 elements. So again I will start with 1. So 1 is mapping to 2, 1 maps to 2 is there, 2 is mapping to what? 3, therefore 1 maps to what? 3. Now we will search for 3 over here. So 3 is here, right? But it is at the end of the cycle. So what is the image of 3? You again go towards the first term of the cycle. So 3 is mapping to 1 and 1 is mapping to what? 2. Therefore 3 maps to what? 2. Now we will search for 2 over here. So 2 is mapping to 4 and 4 is mapping to what? 1. So cycle closed, right? But which is the missing term? 4, right? So I will write 4 over here. Let us see what is the image of 4. So 4 is mapping to 3 and 3 is mapping to 4. Therefore 4 is mapping to 4 and this is nothing but 1, 3, 2. Let us go for one more example. 1, 2, 3, 4 and I will take 2, 3, 4. Right? This is one element and this is one element. And final we will go for one more. I will say 1, better I take the another one. Okay, 4, 3, 2, 1 and I will go for 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is one element, okay, and this is one element, right? Now you can see this is one element, isn't it? But you will say how it is one element? Over here we can see 2 cycles, isn't it? But still it is one element. I will tell you how. Basically now this permutation is defined on 4 symbols. Okay, so once I say that this is one element, the meaning is 1 is mapping to 2, 2 is mapping to 1, 3 is mapping to 4 and 4 is mapping to 3. So if you try to write down this permutation in cyclic form, it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, which you can do. But if I treat 1, 2 as one element, 1, 2 as one element separate, then what will be 1, 2 element as a whole? So it is going to be, now since we are dealing with 4 symbols, this 1, 2 is going to be 1 maps to 2, 2 maps to 1, and you can see that 3 and 4 is missing over there. It means 3 is mapping to 3 and 4 is mapping to 4. I hope you are getting my point. Therefore it is necessary to mention that this is one element. So this element is equal to this, okay, and not equal to this. Is that fine? Right? And if you treat, I hope you understood now, if you treat this 3, 4 as a separate element, then there will be slight change. 3 will map to 4, 4 will map to 3 and 1 is mapping to 1 and 2 is mapping to 2. If you talk about 3, 4 alone, right? Now let us focus on the composition. Yeah, so this is equal to and this is equal to. First of all we'll go for this. We are going treating this as one element. So I'll start from 1. So 1 is mapping to 2, right? Now I'll shift here. 2 is mapping to what? 1. So therefore 1 maps to 1. Now I will start with 2, right? Cycle for 1 is completed. So 2 is mapping to 1 and 1 is mapping to what? 4. Therefore 2 is mapping to what? 4. Now I will start with 4. 4 is mapping to 3. 3 is mapping to 2. Therefore 4 is mapping to 2 and therefore cycle is closed. Now which is the element that is missed? 3. So therefore we'll start with 3. So 3 is mapping to 4 and 4 is mapping to 3. Therefore 3 is mapping to what? 3. So this is our element 2, 4, right? Because writing this and writing this is one and the same. So according to the context, it is understood that 1 is mapping to 1 and 3 is mapping to 3. Now let us go for the third example. Again I will start from 1. Now since 1 is missing here, it means 1 is mapping to 1. Over here you can see 1 is mapping to 2. So 1 maps to 2. Now I will start with 2. So 2 is mapping to 3. 3 is mapping to 4. Therefore 2 will map to 4. 4 is mapping to 2. 2 is mapping to 3. Therefore 4 is mapping to what? 3. Now next 3 is mapping to 4. 4 is mapping to 1, therefore it means 3 is mapping to 1 and the cycle closed. So this is about what? Composition of permutation. Now we will see these two important notes. The first note is cycle of length 2 is called as transposition. So we will say, what do you mean by cycle of length 2? So we already have come across cycles of length 2. See this 2 3 is a cycle of length 2, therefore it is called as a transposition. I will spell it if you want. Transposition, yeah, it is transposition. This is nothing but what? A transposition. So example is this, because it is cycle of length 2. Similarly, this is also example of transposition. In second example we don't see any transposition. In third example also we don't see any transposition, but we come across transposition in fourth example in very beautiful way. So this is a transposition. Now try to focus on this element. This is not a transposition actually itself, because it is a product of two cycles and each having length 2. So the meaning is this permutation is a product of transpositions, because how it is written, cycle of length 2, which is a transposition, multiplied by cycle of length 2. Is that okay? So it means this permutation is a product of what? Transpositions. Okay, so this is an important note. The second one, every permutation can be expressed as a product of transposition. So whatever permutation you take, definitely it can be expressed as a product of transposition. If you talk about this permutation, it is a product of transposition itself by its nature. We have to not convert it as a product of transposition, because it is already in product of transposition. Now this cycle, this is also a product of transpositions. How many transpositions are involved in its product? Only one. So how many transpositions are involved in this product? There are two. 1 2 is one transposition and 3 4 is one transposition. Now the question is, what about this example? 4 3 2 1. So now how can we express it as a product of transposition? Idea is very simple and easy. Just see first element of the cycle, which is 4, and just see last element of the cycle, that is 1. So write down 4 1. Now again see first element of the cycle, that is 4. Now see second last element of the cycle, which is second last element, that is 2. See first element, that is 4. Now see last third element of the cycle, that is what? 3. Now you cannot go beyond this, because if I start from 4, now we are supposed to see last fourth element, which is 4 again. Okay, so no point of writing this, so I will erase this. Are you getting my point, what I have done? So I have expressed this permutation as a product of transpositions. And how many transpositions are involved? 3 transpositions, 4 1, 4 2 and 4 3. But is it right? Whatever I have done, is that right or not? You can verify it easily. How to verify it? Chalo, we will write it in our usual permutation form, right? Then you'll understand. I'll write 1 2 3 4, and same way on the right hand side also, 1 2 3 4. So 1 is mapping to 4 over here, so I will write 1 is mapping to 4, isn't it? Now what about 2? So 2 is mapping to 1, so I will write 1 over here. 3 is mapping to 2, so I will write 2. 4 is mapping to 1 again, so I will write 1. I have missed something, I guess. What I have missed? Yeah, 4 is mapping to 3 and not 1. Okay, that is what I thought. 1 maps to 4, okay. 2 maps to 1, okay. 3 maps to 2, okay. And 4 maps to 3. That's right. Now let us see the right hand side. Now on the right hand side you see 3 transpositions, right? So definitely 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4. You will think like this. So 4 maps to 1. Now focus on this. So 4 is mapping to 1 and 1 is mapping to 4. So 4 is mapping to 1, 1 is mapping to 4. So rest of the elements are fixed. What about the second element? 4 is mapping to 2, 2 is mapping to 4, and rest of the elements are fixed. Next, 4 is mapping to 3, 3 is mapping to 4, rest of the elements are fixed. Now let us take the product and let us see, do we get the right hand side or left hand side or not. So 1 is mapping to 1, 1 is mapping to 1, 1 is mapping to 4, therefore 1 is mapping to 4. So I'll say 2 is mapping to 2, 2 is mapping to 4, and 4 is mapping to 1, therefore 2 is mapping to 1. Next 3 is mapping to 4, 4 is mapping to 2, and 2 is mapping to 2, therefore 3 is mapping to 2, and 4 is mapping to 3, 3 is mapping to 3, and 3 is mapping to 3, therefore 4 is mapping to a 3. That's right, and that's exactly our left hand side. Okay, so now given any permutation, I hope you should be able to express it as a product of transpositions. So if I talk about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so how you are going to write it as a product of transpositions? You'll start with 1, 6, 1 again, 5, 1, 4, 1, 3, 1 and 2. That's it. We'll go for one more example. Let me say some another example. 4, 5, 6, 1, 3, 2. What about this? I am taking permutation on 6 symbols. So 4 maps to 2. Sorry, I will write 4, 2. First element, last element, then first, last, second, 4, 3. Then I will have 4, 1. Then I will have 4, 6, and then I will have 4, 5. So I have expressed it as a product of how many transpositions? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Similarly, for the second example, I have expressed it as a product of 5 transposition, but in the first example, I have expressed it as a product of 3 transpositions. Let us go for the fourth example, which I am going to take very interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is equal. Now, just see, it is already a transposition, so you don't have to touch it. Just you have to focus on this. That is cycle of length 3. So this can be written as 1, 3. So I am focusing on only 1, 2, 3, and what? 1, 2. I write down that 4, 5 as it is. So I express it again as a product of transposition. How many transpositions are involved? 3 transpositions, right? Now let us see sign of a permutation. So if sigma is a permutation which is a product of R transposition, as you know, every permutation can be written as product of transposition, then sign of sigma is defined as -1 raised to R. Let us go through some examples, then you will understand. So first example, so what will be sign over here? Okay, I will call it as some delta 1, let me say, so, or a sigma 1, better, sigma 1. So what will be sign of sigma 1? So it will be -1 raised to what? Now you can see this sigma 1 is a product of how many transpositions? 3 transpositions. So it will be -1 raised to 3, which is -1. Coming down, talking about this second example, I will call it as sigma 2, I will call it as sigma 3, I will call it as sigma 4. So you can see this sigma 2 is a product of how many transposition? 5 transpositions. So this is again -1. What about signature of sigma 3? Again it is a product of 5 transpositions, so -1 raised to 5, which is -1. And in the last example again, since it is a product of 3 transpositions, it is -1 raised to 3, which is -1. Now note one thing. So the idea is, if your sigma or if your permutation is written as even number of transposition, then your signature is going to be 1. And if your permutation is written as product of odd number of transpositions, then your signature is going to be, signature, or you can say sign, is going to be -1. So over here you can see that everywhere I am getting odd permutation. So over here it is 3, 5 and 3, and therefore my signature is coming out to be my sign is coming out to be -1. In some books they are saying signature, in some books they are saying sign. Okay, but we are going to follow the term sign, right? Talking about this element, if I have let me say sigma is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so what will be sign of this sigma then? In this case it is going to be minus 1 raised to 2 now, because it is a product of two transpositions, and the sign in this case is going to be 1. Okay, so what about the identity permutation? Now this is very interesting question. What will be the signature of identity permutation? Identity in the sense, suppose I am having sigma is equal to 1 maps to 1, 2 maps to 2 and 3 maps to 3, right? So now you cannot use this trick, right? If it is 1 2 3, then we can easily say 1 3 1 2. Therefore this can be written as product of even number of transpositions, because two transpositions are involved, and therefore signature of this 1 2 3 will be 1, right? Over here 1 is mapping to 1, 2 is mapping to 2 and 3 is mapping to 3. So number of transpositions are 0, right? You cannot write you cannot get any transposition in picture for sigma. So therefore the number of transpositions involved uh, in the representation of sigma is 0. Okay, so therefore signature, remember, sign of the identity permutation is minus 1 raised to 0, and which is nothing but 1. So whenever you talk about sign of identity permutation, it is always 1. If you want, I will write the note over here. Sign of identity permutation. Now this first note is also interesting. So if you know the signs of sigma and tau, then definitely you can tell the sign of sigma composition tau. It is nothing but sign of sigma multiplied by sign of tau. Let us go for the example, then you will understand. Example, suppose I take my sigma to be, let me say 1 2 3, and if I take my tau to be some 1 2, right? So I can write this sigma as 1 3 1 2, product of transpositions, and so I can say sign of sigma over here is minus 1 square, and which is nothing but 1. Now in this case it is a product of only one transposition, so sign of tau in this case is going to be minus 1 raised to 1, which is nothing but minus 1. So therefore what will be sign of this 1 2 3 and 1 2, this element, and sign of this element is going to be what? Can you guess it? It will be minus 1, because this is our sigma, this is our tau, right? So therefore sign of this element is going to be 1 multiplied by minus 1, and that is nothing but minus 1. So this is a beautiful example of this first note. So that's all about the some sort of revision, I will say, regarding the concept of permutation. Now we are ready to discuss the definition of skew symmetric function, that we will see in the next class, and then we will go for the definition of determinant.